We use a number of different approaches to try to understand prosopagnosia. One thing we do is sort of the bread and butter of what we do is we create tasks that we run on computers, and say they might look at how well somebody can recognize faces or how well they can recognize objects. We can use MRI to try to look at the structure of the brain in people with prosopagnosia. We also use functional magnetic resonance imaging, and there we're looking at activity in the brain, and we can compare whether activity in the brain of somebody with prosopagnosia is the same or different as somebody who's got normal face processes. We're trying to understand sort of what information processing mechanisms are not working, sort of you can kind of think how the information is not being sort of represented properly in the brain. And then we're interested in trying to understand the neural basis of that and sort of going all the way back to the beginning, try to see if we can find some genetic correlates of that problem with faces. If we can do that, maybe somewhere along the way in these different sort of deficits that people have with prosopagnosia, maybe we can do something to help people with prosopagnosia and improve their face processing. Then on the other hand, we try to use prosopagnosia as a means to understand how the brain is organized. So for example, if we see somebody who's severely impaired with face processing, but they're normal with object processing, that suggests, well, face and object processing, that suggests that it's handled by two separate mechanisms. And so that tells us something about the organization of the brain. If we see that there's a particular area in the brain that's abnormal in people with prosopagnosia, that suggests to us, well, that area must be important for face processing. So there's a back and forth between learning about prosopagnosia and learning about sort of the normal organization of face processing. At the moment, there aren't any demonstrated sort of cures or therapies that improve face recognition ability in people with prosopagnosia, but we haven't been studying the condition all that long, so I'm optimistic that these cures are out there. There are 3 or 4 labs in the world right now looking into this possibility, including our lab. And so I think, I hope 10, 20 years down the road that we've got something that can help people with face processing problems.